Well, the St. Vincent de Paul Society has been around in Queensland for 130 years. We exist to give people a hand up.
So I started as a volunteer over at the Billawheeler store and then went on to the retail operations manager's role, which is where I was when we started this project.
Vinnies relies on donations from our very generous donors that come through all of our retail stores each and every day. And that is our supply chain. That's what we rely on to process and to turn around and move it back into our retail network across the state to support our mission. In the Rockhampton Diocese, our donation hub was overwhelmed with donations.
I can tell you about a particular experience when I had to work in here at Christmas time. We had some staff off with COVID and others were on annual leave.
It was very overwhelming. Volunteers would come in, look at that and know no matter how fast they worked for the day, there was no way they were going to get through that workload.
There was donations all over the floor. It was a workplace health and safety issue.
We did try a few different things. We even moved the warehouse around quite a few times, but it just wasn't solving the issue.
We needed to find a solution to become more efficient.
Standing in the middle of the warehouse, surrounded by all of those donations and thinking we cannot do this for another year.
The Vinnies team reached out for support about a year ago now, and when we came to do our initial on-site scoping visit, really clear for us that they were really struggling and quite overwhelmed.
The main outcome that we put to the Toyota team when they came through was that we wanted to realise the value of our donations quicker.
For us, the process starts with understanding the current situation.
The Toyota production system is an organisational culture of continuous improvement that puts people at the centre of everything we do.
We surface problems and then we prioritise them, and then target each of those problems and then see what solutions we can come up with.
It was really interesting because we all put our ideas on paper and then we all got together again and then we all decided which system would actually be the best for us.
In TPS, shop floor focus is important. Like, go to the source where the work happens and then engage with the workers because they are the experts of what they're doing, understand their issues and then bring the solutions out of them.
Along the journey we did a lot of data collection and time lapse where we would time how long it took to sort through a trolley, how long it took to sort through a cage.
And we created visualisation of abnormality, we created an ideal flow, and we created some basic rules about how to operate.
We came up with a Kaizen strategy. We started to make a plan, a turnaround, and Alan was already onto it. He was already making change.
When they first started throwing them words around, I was like, Kaizen, what's Kaizen? But it was actually something we've always had, and there's always room for continuous improvement.
They are all about action, all about wanting to improve the work area for themselves, for their volunteers, and ultimately for the community that they serve.
Having that mapping and then getting straight into it was very exciting. I'm Kaizen even at home now.
So we now have controlled variables. So we've got a set trigger point of 7 cages.
We know that once we get to 7 cages of clothing, we have to stop what we're doing and make a decision about how we're going to deal with that.
I took that a little step further and thought, why don't we have colour coding for the donations that are coming through?
So we worked on the layout for the sort station. We used the tool called parts flow diagram.
So we brought the tables closer together and each table has home positions for 3 trolleys on either side.
So prior to this process, the racking was all spread out. There was no rhythm. So we decided to redesign the room, bring everything close.
The weight of the boxes, we found that lifting from certain levels was not okay. So what we did, we found a perfect trolley that the volunteers can raise up and down. Takes all the hard work out of it.
TPS is all about people development. So we look around, we see a system that's working, we see a team that's engaged, a team that's motivated to drive further improvement.
Working with the volunteers closely, seeing firsthand how dedicated they are to the charity's mission, it was really inspiring.
We actually involved a couple of the volunteers to be a part of the team that engaged with Toyota, and the change in them has just been extraordinary.
What impressed me the most at Vinnies and Rockhampton, they really had improved their day-to-day life, increased their output, improved their quality, and were enjoying themselves doing it.
So I walk in now and it feels fresh. You can actually see if the warehouse is struggling or not. There's processes in place. The staff seem to be more relaxed.
The volunteers are coming in feeling enlightened and they can see what needs to be done. They're doing meaningful work. They have a structure that they can follow. It has made the days run so much smoother.
After the initial changes that we made here and learning the Toyota principles, we will be taking that into other areas of our business, including the stores.
What you could see at Vinnies is that TPS and continuous improvement improvement is actually infectious. Once you've learned it, you don't want to stop and you see lots of opportunities.
The work that's been achieved by the team here in Rockhampton is exceptional. We've streamlined our processes, our volunteers are motivated, they are happy. I'm so proud of what they've achieved. I think that we can replicate this now across the state.
They're harnessing our thinking in their environment and doing it for the benefit of the community that they serve. So I think it doesn't get better than that.